When we talk about success, most people want to know the formula, the strategy, the shortcut, the how. But what we often overlook is the who you must become to sustain it. Success isn't just about talent, intelligence, or resources. It's deeply rooted in your attitude. Yes, your attitude, because your attitude is not just a personality trait. It's a spiritual magnet. It draws people, situations, and outcomes to you based on the energy you consistently put out. You don't have to chase everything when you know how to attract the right things, and nothing attracts success like a positive attitude. See, you have to understand that the mind is the battlefield. The enemy doesn't have to destroy your life. He just has to corrupt your perspective. If he can poison your attitude, he can sabotage your potential. Because once your attitude goes wrong, your vision gets blurry. And when your vision gets blurry, your decisions get reckless. And when your decisions get reckless, your direction gets lost. So the devil doesn't have to stop you. He just needs to shift your attitude. But I came to tell you that your attitude is your authority. It is your posture in the storm. It is your disposition in difficulty. And if you learn how to guard your attitude, success will be a byproduct, not a pursuit. Let me teach you something. People are not drawn to talent alone. They are drawn to energy, to spirit, to presence. You can be brilliant and still repel favor if your attitude is bitter, broken, and negative. But when you carry joy, when you speak life, when you remain hopeful even under pressure, you become magnetic. You don't even have to announce yourself. Doors will open. People will mention your name in rooms you've never entered, because favor is attracted to faith and success is attracted to light. Now let's go deeper. Your attitude is not just about how you treat people. It's how you see your life. It's the internal thermostat that determines how you react to external temperatures. Two people can go through the same fire. One comes out purified, the other comes out bitter. What made the difference? Not the fire, but the focus. Not the trial, but the thought life. So don't tell me it's your situation. It's your interpretation of the situation. What are you telling yourself when life gets hard? Are you saying, this is the end? Or are you saying, this is the beginning of something new? That's attitude. You've got to train your attitude like a muscle. You've got to wake up and decide, today, I'm not going to be a victim of my feelings. I'm going to choose to believe something better is coming. I'm going to speak words that align with my destiny, not my drama. Do you hear me? You've got to choose your thoughts like you choose your clothes. You've got to dress your mind for the season you're walking into. If you want success, you cannot wear the garments of defeat, bitterness, and fear. Some of you are so close to breakthrough, but your attitude is blocking your blessing. You keep asking God to send new opportunities, but He's waiting on you to shift your mindset. Because if He sends success while your attitude is still stuck in insecurity, you'll sabotage the blessing. If He sends favor while your spirit is still bitter, you'll offend the very people assigned to elevate you. So He's not withholding it. He's preparing you to handle it, and that preparation starts with your attitude. Your attitude is your spiritual frequency. And let me tell you something about frequency. You can't pick up a radio station if you're not tuned to the right frequency. That means if your life is full of static, fear, doubt, anger, you won't hear the instructions, you won't notice the opportunities, you won't see the favor. But when you tune your heart to gratitude, to faith, to vision, suddenly you start seeing things others miss. Suddenly you walk into a room and people say, there's something different about you. Yes, it's your spirit, it's your energy, it's your attitude, don't underestimate it. It's not small, it's not shallow. It's the soil in which your purpose grows. You can plant all the right seeds, dreams, goals, talents. But if the soil of your heart is toxic, the harvest won't come. But if you maintain a healthy, hopeful, expectant spirit, you'll see doors open that others only dream about. Let me leave you with this. The most successful people aren't always the smartest, the richest, or the most educated. They're the ones who refused to let life steal their joy. They're the ones who kept smiling even after the storm. They're the ones who saw the light in the middle of darkness and said, "I still believe." That's the power of a positive attitude. It's not a feeling, it's a decision. And when you make that decision daily, success won't just visit you, it'll stay with you. You said, expand the second keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 800-word chat. GPT said, you will never have full control over what life brings your way. Storms will come without warning. People will change without explanation. Opportunities may slip through your fingers, but one thing, and I mean one unshakable thing, that remains under your control is your perspective. You can't always change the circumstances, but you can change how you see them. That is the true power of a positive attitude. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing to see purpose in the pain and refusing to be defeated by the pain. Too many people are living reactive lives. They let the external world determine their internal climate. If something goes wrong, their whole day is ruined. If someone disrespects them, they carry that wound for weeks. But I came to tell you that you cannot live like a thermometer. You've got to live like a thermostat. A thermometer reflects the environment. A thermostat sets the temperature. And when you have a positive attitude, you don't just go with the emotional flow. You set the spiritual tone of your life. You say, no matter what's happening around me, I will not allow it to dictate what happens inside of me. Understand this. A negative attitude in a tough situation only makes the problem heavier. It makes the climb steeper. It makes the fight longer. It's like carrying extra weight into a battle you're already struggling through. But a positive attitude, oh, it lightens your load. It gives you vision. It gives you energy. It tells your soul, we may not be out yet, but we're not stuck. We may not see it yet, but it's coming. You see, faith and attitude are intertwined. Your attitude is the voice of your faith. If you believe something good is coming, your attitude will reflect it, even in the storm. Let me tell you something. Your perspective is a lens, and how you see a thing determines how you treat a thing. If you see your delay as punishment, you'll become resentful. But if you see it as preparation, you'll become patient. If you see your enemies as destroyers, you'll grow bitter. But if you see them as elevators, you'll grow better. That's not motivational fluff. That's biblical principle. Joseph looked his brothers in the face, the same ones who betrayed him, hurt him, sold him, and said, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That is the voice of someone whose attitude wasn't built on his circumstances. It was built on his confidence in God's sovereignty. Some of you are frustrated not because God hasn't moved, but because your mind hasn't shifted. You're still looking at your pain through the wrong lens. You're still asking why me, when God is trying to teach you to ask what now. There is purpose wrapped in the problem. There is wisdom in the waiting. But you'll never see it if your attitude is poisoned by fear, pride, or regret. You've got to shift how you see. You've got to say, this situation may not be what I wanted, but I believe it's what I needed. It's easy to have a good attitude when everything's going well. Anybody can smile on the mountaintop, but your true character, your spiritual maturity, is revealed in how you behave in the valley. Will you worship in the dark? Will you believe when you don't see it? Will you still show up, still serve, still push, even when life doesn't make sense? That is the mark of someone whose attitude is rooted in truth, not in temporary conditions. You see, the people who win, the people who grow, the people who rise, they aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who said, I refuse to let this moment define me. I will define it by how I respond. That's the shift. That's the moment your life begins to move in a new direction. Not when the circumstance changes, but when your perspective does. You've got to become the kind of person who says, no matter what happens, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to find a lesson in this. I'm going to keep my peace. I'm going to protect my joy. I may cry, but I'll still climb. I may be shaken, but I won't be shattered. That's what it looks like to control your perspective. That's the discipline of a positive attitude. And don't think this kind of mindset is passive. No, it's spiritual warfare, choosing to remain hopeful in a hopeless-looking situation is warfare. Refusing to complain when everything in you wants to curse the darkness is warfare. Speaking life over your future when the enemy is whispering lies in your ear is warfare. The battlefield is not just outside, it's within. And when you conquer your mind, you can conquer anything. So stop waiting for the situation to get easier. Stop waiting for everyone to treat you right. Stop waiting for all the pieces to fall into place before you believe something better is coming. Start now, choose now, shift now. Say to yourself, this circumstance may be out of my hands, but my attitude is still mine. My peace is still mine. My vision is still mine. Because once you change how you see a thing, you change how you experience it. And when you change your experience, you change your outcome. That's how success finds you, not when everything is perfect, but when your perspective refuses to be poisoned. Because success doesn't come to those who wait for the storm to pass. It comes to those who learn how to dance in the rain. You said, expand the third keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 800-word, ChatGPT said. Life will test you. It will press on you. It will push you to the edge and ask you who you really are. It will throw storms your way, shake the foundations under your feet, and challenge everything you thought you had figured out. And in those moments, those crushing, confusing, soul-stretching moments, you will discover what you're made of. And let me tell you, a positive attitude doesn't just make the sunshine brighter, it makes the storm survivable. It builds a resilience that keeps you standing when everything around you says you should fall. It's not just about smiling when it's easy, it's about staying strong when it's hard. Resilience is not about pretending you're not hurt. It's about not letting the hurt stop you. It's about refusing to quit when your plans get crushed, your heart gets broken, and your strength gets tested. And what gives birth to that kind of resilience is your attitude, your outlook, your inner talk, your mental posture. Because listen, when you believe that every setback is a setup for something greater, you can walk through fire with faith instead of fear. A positive attitude is not a denial of reality. It's a declaration of destiny. It's saying, I know what I'm facing, but I also know who I am. It's saying, yes, this hurts, but this will not break me. See, some of the most successful people in history are not those who had the smoothest path. They are the ones who had every reason to give up, but didn't. They got knocked down, but they refused to stay down. And what gave them the strength to rise was not just determination, but the inner conviction that this moment was not their end. Let me be real with you, life will not always hand you what you hoped for. People will disappoint you, opportunities will pass you by, plans will fail, but your power is not in your ability to control the world, it's in your ability to respond with faith, with courage, with a mind that says, I still believe. Because resilience is not just bouncing back, it's bouncing forward with greater strength, deeper wisdom, and a renewed fire. A positive attitude gives you that edge. It fuels your ability to keep showing up even when the rewards don't come quickly. It gives you the courage to try again, even after failure. It allows you to turn pain into purpose and setbacks into strategies. It trains your eyes to look for lessons in the loss, to look for strength in the suffering, to look for meaning in the mess. Because if you can change your mindset in the middle of a mess, you're already on your way to mastery. And let me remind you, resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. And what exercises it is the resistance you face. When life presses you down, that's your training ground. Every disappointment is an opportunity to develop endurance. Every rejection is a chance to deepen your resolve. Every obstacle is a moment where you decide, am I going to quit or am I going to grow? You grow when you stay. You grow when you push. You grow when you say, even if it doesn't happen today, I'm still going to believe for tomorrow. Let me teach you what many don't understand. A negative mindset collapses under pressure, but a positive one rises under pressure. That's because negativity feeds fear, but positivity feeds faith. And when your faith is fed, your feet keep moving. You may not run, but you walk. You may not leap, but you take one more step. And sometimes just taking that one more step is all it takes to get you to the other side. When your attitude is anchored in faith, you stop measuring success by comfort. You stop looking at convenience as a sign of blessing. You start to understand that sometimes the most fruitful seasons are the most painful ones. You begin to value the stretch, not just the celebration. You embrace the pruning, not just the promotion. Because deep down, you've decided that your joy is not situational, it's spiritual. A positive attitude doesn't just help you survive hardship, it helps you reinterpret it. You start saying, maybe this closed door is protection, maybe this delay is preparation, maybe this heartbreak is redirection. And that shift in thinking, that sacred shift, is what keeps your soul alive. It's what keeps you going when others fold. It's what brings you peace in the storm and power in the valley. So if you're facing something hard right now, let me speak this into your spirit. Don't let the challenge change your character. Don't let the fight steal your fire. Let it refine you, not define you. Let it develop you, not destroy you. Your positive attitude is not a weakness. It's your weapon. It may not change the storm, but it will change you in the storm. And sometimes that's the real victory, because the storm wasn't sent to drown you. It was sent to show you what you're made of. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you feel. And you are more resilient than you realize. But to access that strength, you've got to align your attitude with your destiny. Stop looking at your trials as tombstones and start seeing them as turning points. Your journey to success won't always be easy, but with a positive attitude, it will always be possible. Keep rising, keep pressing, keep believing, because resilience is built in the fire. And with the right attitude, you won't just survive it, you'll shine through it. You said, expand the fourth. Keynote without headings and intro of Keynote up to 800-word ChatGPT said, one of the greatest signs of a positive attitude is the ability to keep moving forward. To look ahead when everything in your past is trying to pull you back. To think about what can be instead of being chained to what was. A positive mindset gives you permission to dream again, to rise above your failures, to shake off the shame of your past, and walk boldly into your future. Because let me tell you something, your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. It's a chapter in your story, not the whole book. And if you want to attract success, you must train your mind to think forward, not backward. So many people are imprisoned by things that already happened. They are physically free, but mentally and emotionally bound to what they lost, to who left them, to what didn't work. Their feet are in the present, but their thoughts are stuck in the past. They rehearse old conversations. They replay old mistakes. They relive old pain. And as a result, they can't see new opportunities when they arrive, because the lens of the past is fogging up the vision for the future. That's what a negative attitude does. It anchors you to a season that's over. But when you walk in the power of a positive attitude, you start believing that what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. You begin to see every failure as a teacher, not a terminator. You stop letting yesterday's pain dictate today's potential. You shift your language from "I wish I had" to "what can I build now?" That shift is not emotional. It's spiritual. It means you've made peace with your past so you can make progress in your present. Understand this. Forward thinkers are future builders. They're not naive. They're not ignoring what happened, but they refuse to be ruled by it. They've learned how to extract the wisdom and leave the weight. That's what positive thinking does. It frees your hands to build what's next. You can't carry the future if your arms are full of yesterday's regrets. Some of you are praying for new doors to open, but you're still camped out at old ones that closed. You're standing in front of shut places, asking God to give you answers when He's already moved on. Let it go. That chapter is closed. That season is done. You don't need closure. You need vision. You need a fresh perspective that says, I'm not defined by who hurt me, by what I lost, or even by what I did. I'm defined by who I'm becoming. The enemy wants to use your past to keep you small. He wants you to feel unworthy, unqualified, too late, too broken. But the moment you begin to believe that your future is still intact, despite your failures, despite your pain, despite your fears, you break that lie. You disarm the power of regret, and that's when momentum starts to flow. Not when life becomes easy, but when your mind becomes free. Positive thinkers don't deny their past. They redefine it. They say, yes, I went through it, but I grew through it. Yes, I was hurt, but now I'm healed. Yes, I was rejected, but I'm still rising. They use their story as a stepping stone, not a stopping place. And because of that mindset, they create space for new possibilities to enter their life. Let me be clear. You will never walk fully into your destiny if your mind is always dwelling in your history. You cannot drive forward by staring into the rear-view mirror. That's how you crash. That's how you miss turns. That's how you lose time. And for many people, it's not that they lack opportunities. It's that they're still interpreting new blessings through the lens of old pain. But when you decide to think forward, you begin to expect good things. You begin to attract better things. You begin to rise to the level of your faith instead of sinking to the weight of your fear. Some of the greatest victories in life come not from winning, but from releasing. Releasing bitterness, releasing guilt, releasing the need to understand everything that went wrong. You may never get the apology. You may never get the full explanation, but you don't need it to move forward. You need healing, you need hope, and you need the kind of attitude that says, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that God still has a plan. You've got to become the kind of person who wakes up in the morning not thinking about what went wrong last year, but wondering what can go right today. You've got to speak over your life, the best is still ahead of me. That's not wishful thinking. That's kingdom thinking. Because the God who created you doesn't waste anything, not the pain, not the delay, not the detour. He uses all of it to prepare you for where you're going, but it only works if your mind is in alignment with your mission. So I challenge you today, stop looking back, start looking ahead. Let your faith look forward. Let your hope rise again. Let your spirit embrace what's possible, because your success isn't tied to where you've been. It's tied to what you believe about where you're going. A positive attitude is the fuel that keeps you walking, even when you don't see the destination clearly. And with every step forward, you send a signal to the world, to the enemy, and to your own soul. I may have been through some things, but I'm still moving. I'm still dreaming, I'm still becoming, and I'm not going back. You said, expand the 5th keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 8. 100-word chat, GPT said. Success is not just about strategy. It's not only about hard work, talent, or connections. There is something deeper, something spiritual, that governs the flow of favor in your life, and that something is attitude. The way you carry yourself, the way you think, the posture of your heart. It all determines the path of your feet. A right attitude doesn't just make you pleasant to be around. It positions you for opportunities. It aligns you with divine timing. It puts you in the path of people who are assigned to help you. Favor finds the heart that is ready for it, and the heart that is ready is the one that walks in humility, gratitude, and expectation. See, when your attitude is right, heaven leans in. When your attitude is right, doors begin to open that no man can shut. You don't have to force your way through. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to beg people to see your value. A heart that is upright, a spirit that is hopeful, and a mind that is rooted in faith creates a gravitational pull in the realm of favor. Because God doesn't just bless hands, He blesses hearts. And when your attitude is full of integrity and expectation, God begins to trust you with more. Some people wonder why they keep hitting closed doors. It's not that they're not gifted. It's not that they're not called. It's that their attitude has become toxic. They're entitled, they're bitter, they're negative, and God in His mercy will not release them into a new season they're not emotionally or spiritually prepared for. Because a bad attitude can ruin a good opportunity. A bitter spirit can spoil a blessing. So God says, before I open that door, I need to fix your posture. When your heart is in the right place, your life starts attracting the right things. You begin to walk in peace. You begin to carry yourself with confidence, not arrogance. People notice. Leaders take note. Helpers show up. It's not coincidence. It's alignment. The right attitude puts you in rhythm with the flow of favor. You don't even have to strive. You just show up with a heart full of grace and a mind full of purpose. And things start falling into place. Let me break it down further. Success doesn't start with the opportunity. It starts with the mentality. If you walk into a room expecting rejection, you'll behave like someone who doesn't belong. If you approach a challenge expecting defeat, your energy will sabotage your effort. But if you come in believing that you are worthy, that you are equipped, that something good is about to happen, your entire demeanor shifts. You speak differently, you move differently, and the room begins to respond to the energy you carry. Attitude is spiritual frequency, and favor responds to frequency. If you walk in complaining, you lower your frequency. If you speak doubt, you cloud your vision. But when you walk in grateful, when you speak life, when you expect good even when things look bad, you tune your life to the frequency of breakthrough. People start calling you, resources find you. The right connections begin to form, not because you manipulated it, but because you magnetized it through attitude. Some people think favor is random. It's not. Favor follows alignment, and alignment begins in the heart. You can't fake it. You can't force it, but you can cultivate it. Every time you choose to see the good, even in a bad situation, your attitude rises. Every time you decide to bless someone when you feel overlooked, your spirit matures. And every time you choose peace over panic, you plant seeds of favor in your future. Let me tell you, there are rooms you'll walk into where your qualifications won't matter as much as your presence. There are people who will help you not because you asked, but because your attitude made an impression. There are moments where your right spirit will do what no resume can, because favor isn't always logical, it's relational. And God uses people to release it, and people are drawn to light. They're drawn to humility. They're drawn to a spirit that's at peace, not in panic. Your attitude either attracts or repels the very thing you're praying for. If you want to be trusted with more, you must be faithful with little. And that starts with your attitude. Stop cursing small beginnings. Stop resenting closed doors. Stop blaming others for what didn't work. Shift your attitude and say, "This is where I am, but it's not where I'm staying. I will remain faithful, hopeful, and grateful, because I know favor is watching me. And let's not forget, the right attitude also makes you ready. Favor can come suddenly, doors can swing open without warning, and if your heart is not in position, you'll miss it, you'll doubt it, you'll sabotage it. But when you've been cultivating the right spirit in secret, God will elevate you in public. because he knows you won't waste the blessing. He knows you won't forget who brought you through. He knows your attitude won't collapse under the weight of success. So today, check your posture, not your physical posture, your spiritual one. Are you aligned with faith? Are you rooted in joy? Are you walking in expectation? Because if you are, favor is not far, and success is not just something you chase. It becomes something you attract, not through striving, but through being. Be faithful, be kind, be excellent, be positive, and watch what begins to move in your direction. Not by accident, but by alignment. You said, "Give me conclusion of entire speech." ChatGPT said, "Absolutely." Here's a powerful and educational conclusion to your full motivational speech titled "Positive Attitude Attracts Success" in the dynamic and faith-driven style of T.D. Jakes. Let me close this message by reminding you of something deep, something eternal. Success is not just a destination, it's a reflection. It's a reflection of what's going on inside of you. It mirrors your thoughts, your emotions, your mindset, your posture. You may think you need more money, more opportunity, more connections, but what you really need is more clarity about who you are and what you carry. Because when you walk in the power of a positive attitude, you stop chasing success, and success starts chasing you. You've learned today that your attitude is a magnet, that it draws or repels according to what you carry. You've been reminded that even when life is unfair, your perspective is still yours to protect. That the storms may come, the winds may blow, but if your mind is anchored in truth and your spirit grounded in gratitude, you will not break, you will build. You now understand that resilience is rooted in attitude, not in comfort, and that forward thinking sets you free from the prison of the past. That when your heart is full of expectancy, your steps will align with favor. Listen to me, you cannot control everything in this life, but you can control how you see, how you respond, and how you believe. The real battle is not out there, it's in here. And when you win in here, in your mind, in your soul, in your attitude, you begin to walk in a rhythm that heaven recognizes. That's when doors open without keys. That's when favor finds you in unexpected places. That's when success becomes more than a goal, it becomes a lifestyle. So I challenge you, choose to believe again. Choose to speak life even when everything around you looks dead. Choose to hope, to push, to rise, to stretch. Don't let your past speak louder than your promise. Don't let fear block the flow of favor. Don't let bitterness cancel your blessing, because the future belongs to those who are bold enough to believe that something better is coming, and brave enough to walk like it's already here. Your attitude is your atmosphere, your mindset is your magnet, and your faith is your fuel. Align them all and watch success move in your direction, not by chance, but by the divine law of belief, resilience, and preparation. This is your moment. This is your time. Shift your mind, speak with power, walk in grace, and let success be attracted to the light within you. In Jesus' name, amen.